Hi, and welcome back to our Building a Website from Start to Finish series. We're getting pretty far ahead now. We have our buckets pretty well done, and now I want to go ahead and test it. Let's go ahead and look at it in the browser. So save and upload, and let's say yes to dependents because we got some images and CSS that needs to be updated. And so let's take a look here. Yeah, we're starting to look really good. I do notice that there. And that is most likely due to this list's margin at the top. We need to compensate by making this 71. Let's try that out. No, that was the wrong way to do it. Let's do padding instead. There we go. And again, I'm doing this on the fly, so I apologize if we have to backtrack a little bit. But it also helps you debug. So next thing I want to do is, if we take a look at this, one major thing we haven't done, it's a simpler thing, but it's major, is we haven't centered this. So we might come back to this, but for now we need to margin 0 pixels auto. But I don't know if that, off the top of my head, I can't remember if that covers the other browsers, but I know it works in Firefox, so there we go. And my spare time, I'll take a look and make sure, and we'll correct that on a later video if I'm wrong about that. Now all we really have left is to make this middle kind of splash screen area here, for lack of better terms. And so let's go back to Photoshop and let's look at this and see how we're going to do it. Odds are we can take these buttons off and let's hide the screenshot and the background, and let's go ahead and just select this entire thing here. Make sure to get enough room for the drop shadow. Same here, but not cutting into the drop shadow of that bucket. And make sure we're on our guides here because we're using that as a reference. So Control C, Control Shift C for copy merged, Control N, 989. Let's really quick make sure that's right, 987. So let's go to our canvas size before we paste this and make this 987. And say yes, proceed, go ahead and paste. And let's kind of center this. And a lot of this I'm eyeballing just for speed, so if you were doing this for a legitimate website or client, you'd want to spend a little more time making sure you're right on point here. Let's hide the background. Yeah. We got a little more space up here, but that's not that big of a deal. We can adjust that later in CSS. So let's go ahead and Control Shift Alt S for save for the web. We want it to be a PNG, and we want to save. And we're going to call this background middle. And let's do a Control A for select all and kind of remember this height here, 349. And come in here. I believe this is the wrap links. Or no, we called it content. So we're going to come down here to content and we're going to add that background image. And actually, let's go ahead and just copy this entire block here for the header and drag it down here. I did that by holding down Control while I dragged. And I believe this was 349. And we'll change this to BG middle. There we go. And we want to make sure that it's the right width, which we could do 100%, but let's just go ahead and stick to what we know. So 970 or 87 that is. I'm not sure why Dreamweaver is doing this, but let's go ahead and test it in Firefox, and we do want to upload dependence. Yeah, so we should be okay. So let's go to Photoshop and go back to our template, show our buttons, and let's hide the rest of the content. Let's actually hide all of our buttons but one of them. And let's zoom in on that sucker. And let's get our marquee and kind of come around it, make sure again we get our any shadowing here. Control-Shift-C for copy merged, Control-N for new. And let's go ahead and paste. Hide our background. And again, we probably should have named this. I'm going to go ahead though and crop right on the edge, at least on the bottom and top here, because we want these things button heads. So let's go ahead and save. Control-Shift-S, or sorry, Control-Shift-Alt-S. And yes, PNG, just because of the sides here. And we'll call this button middle, but it's a background, so we'll do BG underscore. Flip over here to Dreamweaver, and apparently our visuals are going to be a little off here, so we might be using Firefox to do the testing on this part. And let's go ahead, let's strip our margin and padding, so I'm just going to grab that from up here, toss that in here, and do that here in our list item as well. And let's go ahead and save and upload. And let's make sure that gets rid of our, yeah, perfect. So let's come back here. And I'm going to try and fit this in to this video, so I'm going to go kind of fast. Let's go ahead and get our background image, browse, background button middle, and we can go ahead and copy these properties. And we need to go check Photoshop and see how big this sucker is. So Control A, it's 84 and 237. So the width of the list item is 237. And the height is 84 pixels. Yeah, there we go. We're coming together. Now this list, the list itself, we need to put some padding or margin or such on here on the top. So let's try 10, even though I know it's going to be too much. Okay, so let's go back a little bit. Let's try 5. And let's try 4. Yeah, there we go. However, it looks like we might have cut our button short. I may have missed and actually cropped out something important. So let's go back to Photoshop really quick. Let's look at our history and let's get rid of that crop. And let's go ahead and save this again. So Control-Shift-Alt-S and PNG will save. And we'll just double click on the button middle, say replace. Come over here. Now let's go back again really quick and Control A. See what our difference is with the height. So 86. And let's cut our margin a little bit again. There we go. We're right on there. Now let's really quick. I might be running out of time here. Get rid of the list style. None. There we go. And I don't even remember what these are supposed to look like as far as text wise. So let's zoom out here and let's look at our original. Let's go ahead and hide ours. Alright, and we chose to do this with HTML and not make images, so there's going to need to be 2 lines here, and we may be able to pull this off within the list item if I remember right. Otherwise we might have to turn these into divs, but we should be able to come in here and these are actually not going to be the links. Let's go ahead and I'm going to pause the video and just space these out really quick. Alright, and as you can see, all I did was space these out. It's still the same. And if you need to catch up, just pause. But what I did notice is that the link itself is actually this get more information. So rather than retyping stuff, I'm just going to go ahead and copy each one of these. Or just copy one of them, that is. And paste. 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 Sorry. I'm going to copy one and paste and just change it to get more information. And we're going to grab that arrow we made a while back here. That arrow icon. Just toss that sucker in here. And just call it arrow for now. And I'm going to go ahead and go to code view. So now we can copy this link and paste it. And let's change these to an H2. We can just double click on this here and quickly paste, paste, paste. Save this. Let's go to split. And it's starting to come around. Now, remember what we did here with the images. We can go in here and give each one of these a class of button. And that will get rid of our border. Paste that in each one of these images. There we go. But we're out of time, so this next video we're going to wrap up this, and then we're going to start talking about what the next part of this series is going to be.